Okay, you're on.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम okay, so we're on page 94 verse 11, right? Yeah. So verse 11, page 94, whoever has the book. So this, the verse 11 is a pretty simple verse because right now in verse 11, Yamraji is still praising Nachiketa, and verse 12 say it will start, the real subject is starting. So we'll do the 11 first. So let me just read the Sanskrit. Kamasya aptim jagatam pratishtam kratoho anyatam abhayasya param totam durugayam pratishtam drishtva drutya dhiro nachiketo atya sakshi. Kamasya is of desire. My glasses are getting like, I need a little more powerful now. Aptim, the fulfillment. Jagataha is of the world. Pratishtham, foundation. Kratoho, of the sacrifice. Anantyam, endless rewards. Abhayasya, of fearlessness. Param, the other shore. Stomam, praiseworthy. Mahata is great. Urugayam, wide extended sphere. Pratishtam, abode of the soul. Drishtva, having seen. Dhrutya, with firm resolve. Ghoraha, wise man. Nachiketa, O Nachiketa. Antah sakshi, you have rejected. So what basically Yamraji is appreciating Nachiketa over here, and this is his generosity, and he's just so thrilled to, and we have seen, how different qualities of Nachiketa, it is like exceeded any other student. And basically Yamraji is saying, hey, in the Vairagya part, you have excelled me. Because when Yamraji was in his state, he wanted the Yamraj Pad and he got it. So like how our teacher was explaining, one is a direct mukti and one is a krama mukti, she called it. Okay, krama mukti, and I think Swamiji also calls it krama mukti, is going in stages. So इधर से स्वर्ग लोक पहुंचे, स्वर्ग लोक से फिर ब्रह्म लोक, ऐसे हायर लोक में पहुंचे, but वो ज्ञान तो लेना ही पड़ेगा फॉर मुक्ति. So एंड में हमारी टीचर बोलती थी, ब्रह्मा जी ज्ञान देते हैं आपको. The creator gives you the Brahma Vidya in the Brahma Lok. And then when you finish that cycle, then you are free. But itna time wait karna hota hai because, people have desires. I want to enjoy, I want to do this. And one is, directly you go to that path and get total, Satchitanand. And Nachiketa is like wanting that. And so he's saying that you don't even want Brahmalok, because Brahmalok is like as high as you can get. And then Tejo Banerjee came up with a great analogy. It's like if you're a resident of a country and somebody gives you a president kapad, and you say, I don't want it. Because president, this is maybe a poor analogy, but still, you got the gist, And then that's what happened, that he gave him the highest thing, and no, I don't want it. All the power, all this thing and all. And कोई पुराने ज़माने में तो राजा बोलते थे उनको, right? राजा बना दिया तो मतलब wealth भी सब मिल गई वगैरह वगैरह. And then the other analogy is that if you are a resident of this cosmos, so इसमें बोलते हैं ना कि पुराणों में है और everybody knows that different lokas are there. 7 लोग ऊपर 7 नीचे वगैरह वगैरह बोलते हैं, और हर एक लोक में as you go higher you get more and more gain of some kind. And for example, Swarg lok में what you don't have, all the bodily afflictions you don't have. You don't get old, you don't get pain, वो सब नहीं है, because you don't have this Panch Mahabhut type of whatever body we have. But everybody knows that jealousy, anger, frustration, all of that is there. Indra Bhagwan used to always, oh, मेरा कोई ले लेगा मेरा पद, is fighting, and wars are there between the good and bad. ये वो सब चक्कर उधर भी है. And then he was lusting behind certain women and all that. All that thing is still in this world. But in Brahmalok, all that is not there. None of these, jealousy, anger, frustration is there. You have a lot bigger amount of bliss and all that. And all the yagya वगैरह जो लोग करते हैं ना, basically to get that Brahmalok. पुण्य कर्म करो ताकि वहाँ सब मिले. स्वर्ग लोक से भी आगे चलो ब्रह्मलोक. That's it. Now, all that was offered to Nachiketa, and he rejected everything, and he said, no, I want that. That's what he's talking about, that he's just saying that amazing thing. And I think that Tejo Banerjee also said that Shankaracharya ji said, he is the absolute unexcelled virtues. He has highest student there could be, according to his words. So with that background, we go into this verse. कमला जी, आप रह गया आपके पास है ये किताब?
हाँ, बुक तो है मेरे पास, पर पिछली बार पता नहीं क्या हो गया था. I think I got disconnected.
Yes, it froze and then we didn't see you. That's why we have to continue. But you can read now this one.
Okay. The end of all desires, the foundation of the world, the endless records of. I think I need
rewards.
Glasses. Yeah. Yeah. Let me go get it. Your WhatsApp. I'm trying not to use the glasses, but the end of all desires, the foundation of the world, the endless rewards of sacrifices, the other shore where there is no fear, the praiseworthy, the great and the wide extended sphere, and the abode of the soul, all these thou hast seen, and being wise, O Nachiketa, thou hast with firm resolve rejected them all.
So यहाँ पर you can see that they don't go in every detail about it, but hinting, and then we are supposed to know all these things. Okay, and then whoever has done the other Upanishad, Om Wala Upanishad with us last 4 years, that they know what is this. They were talking about Hiranyagarbhana, means that Ishvara Tattva, like a total mind. And there is a lot more bliss and in all that in that. Not as much as the highest one, but still. You will see.
It seems that the qualities in this ideal disciple which deserve a full-throated compliment are unending and inexhaustible. When the enthusiasm of the teacher gains more and more fire, the more he does kirtanam upon the qualities of the ideal Vedanta student.
Well, he's just basically saying that Yamraji cannot stop praising him.
Yeah.
When we admire somebody, we can't stop praising them.
The Hiranyagarbha state, otherwise called Brahmaloka, has been the one goal of all mortals. No worshipper can courageously stand away from the charms of the unending joy in this captivating realm of perfections as constituted in the total mind or intellect. Every performer of sacrifice, karma, if analyzed, shall show himself to be psychologically craving to make a beeline to Brahmaloka to enjoy there for a time at least, and thereafter to gain Kaivalya at the time of dissolution through the process of gradual liberation, Karam Mukti.
Krama Mukti actually. Krama.
Kram Mukti. Okay.
So this basically what I explained to you, that it is a very tempting states, and you know that in some of the other religions that is the main things, like वो jihad वगैरह जो करते हैं, इसीलिए करते स्वर्ग में जाके बैठेंगे, they promise them jannat, So he's saying that these things are very very tempting, and then this is the highest is that Hiranyagarbha Brahmaloka, where Brahma ji the creator का abode है वो, जहाँ से जो सबको पूरे कॉस्मोस को सपोर्ट करता है, and that place also. And Kaivalya is the last stage. There is a Kaivalya Upanishad also. It comes from the word Keval, Keval ek, eki, and that is that oneness with the highest. So he's saying that end में ब्रह्मलोक में जाने के बाद, ब्रह्म विद्या मिलने के बाद, when the dissolution happens, that's when you get the mukti. But he's asking, while living, like what Krishna Bhagwan says to Arjuna, it's called Jivan Mukti. Jivan, while living, you get the liberation.
Lord Death is surprised here on seeing that the disciple is not tempted even by the subtlest of joy, which is mortal can hope to enjoy through sense organs. The various objectival phrases used in the stanza all go to qualify the state of Hiranyagarbha, the stay of all universe. The Hiranyagarbha state is the first emergence of the manifested world from its unmanifested conditions. To compare this with a parallel would be to say that the total mind state is the sprout that peeps out at first to begin its career as a tree from its earlier unmanifested conditions in the seed. In this case, just as we can see that sprout is the support of the tree, similarly the grosser manifestations constituted of the universe are said to be supported by the state of Hiranyagarbha. The entire world of Adhyatma, bodies, Abhibhuta, elements, and Adhidaiva, God, are supported by the Hiranyagarbha.
So Swamiji is being a little bit technical, but we have heard this word Adhyatma, Adibhuta, or Adideva. And that when we say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times, they said that 3 different afflictions that happen because of Adhyatma, Adibhuta, and Adideva, usko wo sab shant ho jaye. So basically Adhyatma is, within us. That manifestation of divinity within us is Adhyatma. Adibhuta is all the 5 elements, जिससे सारा संसार बना हुआ है, हमारी बॉडी भी बनी हुई है पंच महाभूत से, वो सब. And Adi Deva is, like Deva is like we talked about the sense organs के जो क्या बोलना चाहिए, phenomenal forces हैं, you can call that or some heavenly thing, divinity and all that. And there are certain things we cannot control, जो natural calamities होती हैं, जैसे ये virus आ गया अभी, we have no control over it, so that can come under Adi Deva. Things are beyond our control, basically. So he's just saying that this Hiranyagarbha also is a very interesting word. Hiranya means gold, and Garbha means womb. So it's like there is, when this whole cosmos started, it started from this womb, and that is Hiranyagarbha, and the whole thing started. It's a support of it. That's what it is telling.
Sorry, what did you say? Hiran is?
Hiran is gold. Not that Hiran, वो दूसरा है, जो
अच्छा, so gold. Did you say gold, Sona?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And Garbha, everybody knows Garbha, like womb. So this is just a way of expressing. See, because this language of the Vedanta is very mystical. So आपने सुना होगा जैसे even Brahmand, and means like egg. Brahmand is like a egg shaped universe, बोलो वो भी हो सकता है, या जहाँ से universe निकला अंडे से, तो वो actual वैसा कोई अंडा नहीं है, मगर it's like the way of expressing. जैसे अंडे से बाहर निकलता है जीव, वैसे अंडे से निकला है पूरा ब्रह्मांड, So इसके लिए all these words are kind of scientifically used over there just to express, you know, how the things are happening. And the interesting thing is उसका नाम ब्रह्मांड किया है ना, cosmos का. And because I watch all these shows, you know, of universe shows and all that, so whatever the scientists have come up with now, the shape of the universe is exactly oval shape. I was like so amazed. I was telling my son, I said, look, they're saying that, and they showed the picture. It's like an egg. And हमारे ऋषि मुनियों को पहले मालूम था. It's mind-boggling, absolutely, that how scientific their research was about the ऋषि.
You know, we talk about Hiranyagarbha, we talk about the total, the unmanifested state. Also, we talk about the total vastness, total, you know, out of which it comes. And that, isn't that what it is that we're talking about, the totality?
The
Out of
totality.
which it comes.
Yes, yes. And
And
the
then-
word, the technical word is Ishvara. एक है
Ishvara,
Brahman,
yes,
and the next
yes.
is Ishwar. This is talking about Ishwar.
Ishvara, right?
It's like, you know, being the king of it, controlling everything.
Yes,
Karma, Phala, Data, all that comes under that.
yeah. So I was thinking,
Brahman is just giving the power. It's like the sun illuminating.
yeah, okay,
उसका जो management है ना, वो सब ये हिरण्यगर्भ के ही, it's a base level.
yes, okay.
There are many different ways you can look at it. Whatever you are thinking is correct also.
Okay, okay.
Should I start?
Yes.
The wide extended Urugayam. The term wide going is used in Rig Veda as an epithet for Soma, for striding, for Vishnu, and wide opening glory of the early dawn.
You're just saying that how this word is used, this Urugamya is for all different things. Basically, you know, all pervading or very big. There are several different connotations of this word, you know. उसको सब कुछ मिलने वाला था, in other words, but फिर भी वो final चीज नहीं थी, but he asked for it.
According to Shankara, that which is sacrificed and rejected by Nichiketa is the Hiranyagarbha, the total mind identification. Through this Hiranyagarbha, idea is first mentioned in the famous creation hymn of Rig Veda as the firstborn in the creation process. This idea never developed as we have in later Vedanta. Svetasvatra Upanishad.
श्वेताश्वर उपनिषद एक है उपनिषद श्वेताश्वर.
Svetashvatra Upanishad. During the early Upanishads, and therefore Shankaracharya's reading can be considered as an anachronism if we view Kathopanishad as separated from the later Upanishads.
So don't worry about this paragraph. Basically, it's just telling you some technical stuff that, you know, यहाँ mention किया था बाद में नहीं आया जो भी है. Basically क्या idea सब same है मगर words different use किए हैं different time में. But when Swamiji was writing this commentary, there were probably a lot of other people, you know, how they do like critical analysis of it, I think. So he has to be very clear into what he's saying, where it's coming from. That's why he put all that. And then there is, when he mentioned this, the creation hymn of Rig Veda, it tells you at the bottom Purush Suktam. And Purush Suktam, someday we will maybe do it in the class after, you know, this is over, because that is something, it gives a Virat Roop ka description. You know the Virat Roop that Bhagwan ने जो अर्जुन को दिखाया था, you know, chapter 11 में, उसका description है कि, you know, how the Ishwar is everything. You know, the Brahman is everything. And all our hands and legs and everything is of Brahman. So, पुरुष सूक्त में ये आता है कि, you know, हजारों जिसके हाथ हैं, एक कोई फिल्मी सॉन्ग भी है, वो कौन है चित्रकार है, you know, मीरा जी is here, it's a beautiful song. उसमें है ये विराट रूप का डिस्क्रिप्शन है. आप देखना, आप जाके वो गाना सुनो, अभी आपको समझ में आ जाएगा क्या बोल रहे हैं. विराट रूप का डिस्क्रिप्शन है उसमें, जिसकी आंख हजार है वगैरह वगैरह. You know, I don't know how to sing, but it's there. Okay? That's what he's talking about.
Being intelligent, thou hast rejected them all. Here is a clear compliment paid to the sense of discrimination and the quality of detachment which Lord Death has noticed in his disciple. The true seeker in Nachiketa is impatient at any compromise with his highest demand to attain and achieve the supermost state of perfection.
तो फिर क्या हुआ आपको? Read
Done.
it.
And my freeze.
He rejects all heavenly joys.
Am I freeze?
Abhi, no, now you're. Sorry. So basically, you saw that जो हमने 4 गुण होने चाहिए, to go and higher in our contemplation and meditation is vivek, vairagya, shak sampatti and mumukshutva. Remember? उसमें वैराग्य पहले विवेक फिर है वैराग्य. वैराग्य में ये एकदम master. Obviously, he had other things too, all of them. But वैराग्य was एकदम सबसे highest limit वाला वैराग्य था, इसलिए उसको इतना compliment दिया गया. And then in my book there is one paragraph. I don't know whether you have it, Kamla ji.
No, I don't have it.
Okay, I'll read it. So verse 7 to 11, it says the supreme reality is amazing and difficult to understand through personal study of books. Just अपने आप ही पढ़ो तो फिर नहीं समझ में आएगा. That's what he's saying. The importance of a real guru is explained. Yama accepts Nachiketa as a disciple, complimenting him for the student has in one respect, Vairagya, excelled the master. So that's what he's saying. This is the acceptance of the. So now the teaching starts. Okay, itna wait karne ke baad, and it is a amazing, verse, and I think that Tejo Banerjee explained it also very, very well. So I'll bring whatever he brought out points also, very, very good points. So here is the verse. Tam durdarsham guda manu pravishtam guhahitam gavhareshtam puranam adhyatma yoga adi gamena devam matva dhiro harsha shoko jahati. Tam is him. So, this is a very important word. In Vedanta, it's called that. That Brahman ko word diya gaya, thou, what is that? That thou are.
Yeah.
Right? That thou are is Mahavakya. You are that.
Yes.
So that means that Bhagwan, Paramatma and all that. And Kamla ji, I was thinking about you with this verse because you had raised that question, who is God? So now it started, that who is God with this verse, okay? And what Tejo Banerjee said, this is just an introduction. It is not yet details. And he was comparing it to the worldly thing. He's saying, a corporation hota hai, aur usme na koi bolta hai aake, I got an idea. But oh, you got an idea? Okay, give a proposal first. So write down what your idea is. फिर उसको expand करेंगे, or or like thesis में you have to give synopsis. And then it's accepted, and then you get have a guide, and then they guide you. So this is just a very brief introduction. But this is where it starts from. Who that God is, or Brahman is, or whatever name you want to call it. It's going to start from here. So this tam word is for that Brahman. And then what Tejo Banerjee was explaining, that remember in the beginning when we were doing this Upanishad, Nachiketa asked a question कि मरने के बाद क्या रहता है, पूछा था ना उसने.
Yeah. Third quote.
हाँ, तो वो वाला जो क्या का है ये आंसर, that it's referring to वो वाला क्या रहता है. So remember that. So there's a connection here, okay? So that is the word him. Duradarsham, difficult to see, and we will go more in detail. But हिंदी में word है ना दूरदर्शन, तो वो तेजो मैंने ने बोला ये वो वाला नहीं है, टेलीविजन नहीं है. दूरदर्शन means दूर, difficult to get. दूर है जैसे. Why? And it will tell you why. गूढ़म, कोई चीज बोलते ना गूढ़ है, subtle, छुपी हुई, difficult to grasp. अनुप्रविष्टम, मतलब हिंदी के एकदम क्रूड लैंग्वेज में बोलेंगे एकदम अंदर घुस गया है, छुपा हुआ है, that kind of thing. Inaccessibly located, it is like very deep in you. That's what it means. Okay? Uha hitam, seated in the cavity of the heart. And then I'm going to go into detail about what this, because Swamiji, Chinmayananji talks about this spiritual word heart. It is very different from the pumping heart that we are used to, I got a heart attack or something like that. Not that particular heart. He's going to explain in Vedanta what heart means. And so that in the cavity of the heart. This next verse is very power-packed one. And Tejomayananji gave a fantastic explanation that I will discuss. Gavaresh Tham. And here Swamiji ne likha hai ki dwells in the abyss, vast, bottomless, boundless pit. जैसे हिंदी में एक पोएटिक लैंग्वेज में बोलते हैं ना, गहराइयों में जिसो है, that's what it is, गहराइयों में. Puranam is ancient, but this also word will analyze it. Puranam is जो पुराना होते हुए भी नित नया है. उसका पुराना और नया together, most ancient but सबसे नया फिर भी. It's like a sunrise. I can give the best example. It never feels old. You can say, sunrise you can see 100 times every day. It looks fresh. It fills you up with new energy and all. That kind of newness is there. And there's another scientific reason also, because it's beyond time. That's why. Because the factor of Purana and Naya is only in reference to time. For something which is beyond time, it is Purana. Adhyatma Yog Adhigame. Adhyatma Yog is, if you English translation यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है, by means of meditation on the inner self. Adhyatma is spiritual. Yog, we know now the meaning of yog. Interestingly enough, this was the first time in Vedanta that word yog came in Kathopanishad, in this verse. Uske baad ye popular hua hai word. That's the tremendous history of this word yoga. This whole thing has come from this verse. So, Adhyatma Yoga is very important. And uska basic meaning hai, meditation on the inner self. Devam is the Lord, or here you can say the higher self, or even Brahman. It's pointing towards that. Matva is having recognized. Dhira is a very important word. The wise man. It has come in Bhagavad Gita many times too. जो realize master को धीर भी बोला गया है. वैसे धीर का मतलब होता है कि धैर्य रखना. Like be having patience. But the Vedanta में यहाँ पर meaning हमेशा था wise man. उसको धीर बोलते हैं. And obviously जो wise man होता है उसी को patience होता है. He doesn't get disturbed by up and down. Harsha Shoko, joys and sorrows. Jahati gives up joys and sorrows. So these are the words. Now let's see what he's trying to say over here. So I'm going to take first the approach of both Swamiji and Tejomayananji have done tremendous things in this. And it's a very, very important verse. But so here, the way approach Tejomayananji took was okay. So he's introducing this topic. And I explained to you that how, just like a thesis and all that, or if you want to write an essay, then you give a brief introduction. So you know what we are getting into. That's how you have to look at these next two mantras are like. So now he's talking about a wise person. So who is a wise person? Dhira. Dhira is the one who is Viveki. Now we know what is Viveki. It's for discrimination here. What does he do? He gives up. Jahati is gives up. Gives up what? He gives up Harsha Shoko. Gives up joys and sorrows. And what are joys and sorrows? Nothing but like elation, depression, or up and down that we see everyday life. Okay, duality. So what Tejomayananji was explaining, when you say give up, it doesn't mean abandoning it, because it's not like a vastu or a thing that we can drop, right? Suppose I don't want the phone. Okay, I can drop it. Harsha and Shok is not like that. It's not an object that you can drop. So what can you do? You rise above it. Don't come under its sway. There are different ways of explaining, and I still remember that I was trying to see how I can explain the young children, 15, 16-year-old transcendent. transcending, right? How do I explain? So I had to think of an example for them. And I said, suppose they go to a party and there is somebody sitting over there that they don't like. Okay, now that you can sit there and brood about it and keep looking at that person, oh, I wish that person didn't come here, blah, blah, blah. Or you rise above it and enjoy the party. So rise above me, the person is still there, or the thing is still there, joy and sorrow are still there. You don't get swayed into it. You don't get affected. You rise above it. So that's what it actually means, okay? When you say jihad. Okay. So now there's a dhira person who gives up. How does he give up? By recognizing something. Recognizing what? That's the question. What does he recognize that he gives up this? Now the next word is connected to this chain of thought is Devam. He recognizes Devam. Devam, in a very simple word, you can say God, but the root word is illumination. Divyata, Dev, Div means illuminating factor. So we know that the consciousness is the illuminating factor here. In the light of consciousness, we know everything. That's why it's called illuminating that way, not like the physical light of knowing. Think of it that way. So that illuminating factor, and that is like Chaitanya means it is conscious. By recognizing that Deva, he gives up Harsha Shok, or the duality. That's how it is. So now, he's saying what Tejo Mehanji explained, that when we think about God, sometimes we have this wrong notion and we always say Bhagwan, hamesha upar dekhte hum log, right, Bhagwan. He's saying that's not the kind of Bhagwan he's talking about. He's talking about all pervading, the one that resides in you. So that's what it is. So when he says about what are the characteristics now of this Devam, so the word is Duradarsham. That Duradarsham is the one which is kind of hard to grasp. That's why it is Duradarsham. Once you get to know it, then it becomes very near, obviously. It's the closest thing you got. But we're talking about in general how it is. It is Duradarsham is referring to that now. Tam Duradarsham. So that, Duradarsham. And then this particular aspect will be revealed slowly now. This is the subject matter now, because he's just introducing the subject. And then why it is Duradarsham? That's the question. So we have learned that this factor, you cannot grasp it by your senses. Just like you can never see your own eye.
Durdarshi means far-sighted.
That is Durdarshi, true. That's a root word से वही आया है, but यहाँ पर Durdarshan means difficult to get.
I see. Okay, thank you.
थोड़ा उसका थोड़ा सा different. आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो भी मतलब है वो दूरदर्शी हुआ है. ये दूरदर्शम. ये संस्कृत में ना एक बिंदी से इधर से उधर हो जाता है. So you have to be very careful about that. So what was I saying that? Yeah, Durdarsham is difficult to grasp because you cannot grasp it by senses. So even though they're talking about seeing over here, but in Vedanta, when they talk about one sense, you have to take a whole bunch together, all five of them. So we know that this Brahman we cannot grasp by any of our indriyas. Okay? That's why it is Durdar, because not graspable by our indriyas. That's why. Okay? That's why Durdarsham. And the other problem with the indriyas is कि भगवान ने जो इंद्रिया बनाई है ना वो बहिर्मुखी है. They always look outside. That's why what do they do in meditation? All that gather everything and sit here with it. That's the whole practice anyway. But it is one of those things कि उसको मोड़ना पड़ता है, इंद्रियों को. नहीं तो वो सारा टाइम भागेंगी बाहर. जैसे कि वो 5 horses of a chariot is going to run after, and will have an accident if you don't control it. So that's where the word Durdarsham is coming.
Would you, Umaji, would you say that would include the mind and the intellect as well? Because that it is beyond that. So would you include mind and intellect as well,
Yeah,
because of the perceptions?
Yes, you can include, definitely. And then, so where is this now? That factor, this devam, the word that, where does it reside? That's the next question. Okay, so what it is hiding is, it's, there are 2-3 words used. It's hidden, anupravishtam. It is inaccessible in a sense, but we don't want to get disappointed, because Swamiji always warned that ऐसा नहीं सोचना कि कभी मिल ही नहीं सकता, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ये शास्त्र ही नहीं होते. You can experience it, but it is hiding in your heart. But there's another kind of explanation given over here, in the web of your thoughts, it's called. Okay, तुम्हारे जो विचारों का जंगल है ना, उसमें छुपा हुआ है, because हमारे विचार उसके पावर की वजह से उठते हैं. That's why it has said, and उसको ना ये word स्वामी जी ने इतना अच्छे से explain किया तेजोमयानंद जी ने. This word you see, Gavareshtam, right? Gavareshtam is एक घना जंगल full of difficulties. एक घना जंगल में आप जाओ तो क्या difficulties होगी? भयानक जानवर होंगे, कोई ऐसी आवाज आएगी और रास्ता नहीं दिखेगा, फलाना फलाना. अब तुम अपने विचार देख लो कैसे होते हैं. अगर हम विचारों के वेब में खो जाएं तो इट्स लाइक अ घना जंगल, राइट? कभी तामसिक विचार आ रहे हैं, कभी राजसिक, और sometimes our own thoughts, we get so disgusted with our own thoughts, they just come, so उन सब के बीच में ये छुपा हुआ है. This is seated in the cavity of heart. And then when he talks about heart, Swamiji will have, and we read the explanation, heart is in Vedanta, heart is considered जहाँ पर intellect और emotion और intellect दोनों merge होते हैं, जहाँ पे उसको with heart बोला गया. और वेदांत में जब heart बोलते हैं ना, it is not located in just our physical heart. That heart is pervades our whole body. And sometimes in English language also they have this connotation of this, gut feeling. Have you heard of it? I have a gut feeling. मेरे stomach में feeling हो रही है मुझे. Even though people think that everything is done by brain, that's not true. Gut feeling is in your stomach. So there are many things. Basically, there is a spiritual heart is pervaded in the entire body, and it is where your vivek and intellect from one side and your emotion merge together. That's where all the good things come out from. Love, compassion, everything. It comes from a spiritual heart. That's उसकी गहराइयों में, उस spiritual heart की गहराइयों में ये है factor. Okay. And then guhahitam is, there is one word guha. So वो बुद्धि की गुहा में, I mean not in like Himalaya caves. That's what Swamiji said, and that was a very, in your intellect के गहराइयों में भी है. So you can call it spiritual heart, and if you want to take individual heart and emotion, सभी की गहराइयों में वही है. But when you talk about the spiritual heart की गहराई में, then we are taking everything together. So it's easier, that's how we can look at it. Okay, so Gavareshtam I already explained. Puranam. Puranam is, and this factor is Puranam. So when as I explain, Puranam is only with the relation to time. तभी हम लोग बोलते हैं कोई 2000 वर्ष पुरानी, इंडिया में जाते हैं ना हम लोग देखने के लिए ruins, या कोई रोम में चले जाओ, ruins of Rome, and it's all related to only is a time bound. Something which is beyond time, that's the true Puranam. Purana होते हुए भी नया is the most ancient, but absolutely new because no change happens in it. Relatively speaking, the sun is like that for us, but in the actual time-bound sense, even sun is going to go away one day. So this is even beyond that. beyond even the sun.
Would you consider, would you consider the one inside you which always feels young?
Yeah,
Which never
that,
goes old?
you are absolutely right. There is something, and that is that factor. That's why it's like this, that you have it within us, but we don't know how to grasp it, but we see the effects of it, and that is one of them. Like, you are absolutely true. When we are 5 years old or you are 95, there's something within us doesn't change. And you have to remind yourself that, yeah, that's why they call them young at heart, some people.
Yeah.
Body बुढ़ी हो गई है, बाल सफेद हो रहे हैं, दांत गिर रहे हैं, सब कुछ हो रहा है. Yeah, I feel young because that person is connecting to that. That's why you feel young.
Yeah.
And then in the highest state, body drops. I don't care. मेरे को थोड़ी कुछ हुआ है. That's how people, people who are very highly spiritually established, that's how they look at it.
You can relate then to the one, the real you, because of that.
Very true. That's why my older son keeps saying, Mom, how does it feel to be grandma? I say, I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm the same person. Yeah, I am a grandson, but I don't know what it means to be a What am I supposed to do? I said, you want me to walk with a stick now? I'm just joking with him. So that's what it is. So and then we have also understood that we're not talking about God sitting somewhere in the heavens, giving some orders and all. No, this is in your own heart he's talking about. And then Tejumaya energy brought a very important point. What can be in your own heart? You say, I, like me, मैं खुद ही, so my own self is that. So when they say, self with the capital S, that's what it is. It's my own self actually. It's nobody outside, it's just my own self, So this is the chain of thought that dhira rises above this. Now the question is, what is the process? Okay, I should know this so that I can go above harsh and shoka. It is hiding in my own self. How do I get there? Next question. Answer is there. Adhyatma yoga. That's the word. It was meditation. So Adhyatma yoga is, and Shankaracharya ji gave the definition of Adhyatma yoga. Adhyatma yoga means withdrawing yourself from the outside world and focusing on that self is Adhyatma yoga. So when you're in meditation, that's exactly what you're doing. And then we saw that all the yagnas that Krishna Bhagavan is saying is nothing but to keep you prepared for that meditation. All those yagna purify your mind, because to sit in meditation, two things are imperative. What are those two things? Pure mind and concentrated mind. Without that, you cannot. You can, because Krishna Bhagavan calls it mithyachari, the person who's just sitting there, or तुम बूढ़ा की तरह बैठा हुआ है, अंदर तो पता नहीं तूफान चल रहा है, because pure mind pure नहीं है और concentration नहीं है. So we don't need to get discouraged. There are methods. All those yagnas are there. You can start doing that. It'll help us, to do this. So this is what, and more explanation is going to come. This is just an introduction of the subject. And then the other one point that Swamiji wanted to tell about this, Tejumaya Anandji, that when we think about people जो हर्ष और शोक से ऊपर उठ गया है, तो बोले क्या पत्थर बन गया है क्या? People तो depressed हो गया कि क्या हो गया उसको? He's not affected by anything. No. The fellow is in bliss, because the nature of this is bliss. So he's getting this highest bliss. So don't misunderstand that, the word is udasin, but the meaning of udasin is totally different in the Vedanta. Udasin means जो ऊपर उठ गया है, लेकिन he's got million times more bliss is going on with him, So don't misunderstand it, but that will come in the next verse. But this verse those are the main things that we are going to we studied, and we are going to see now Swamiji's explanation. We'll read this now. Who wants to read? Meena ji, you want to read?
The wise sage who by means of meditation on the inner self, recognizes the ancient who is difficult to be seen, who is unfathomable, and concealed, who is hidden in the cave of the heart, who dwells in the abyss, is lost in the intelligence and seated amidst miserable surroundings indeed, renounces joy and sorrow. Having rejected the state of Hiranyagarbha, upon what should a true seeker's heart be fixed? Is there anything subtler to be realized whereby a greater perfection can be achieved? These questions naturally rise up in the mind of any student who is pursuing a study of Katha Upanishad. And with the teacher's answers to these questions starts the real Upanishad. With this stanza starts the entire discussion of the theory and the technique of self-perfection.
So that's what, as we mentioned, is starting now.
Lord Death in this statement clearly indicated that there is an eternal truth far subtler than the state of total mind, and that a seeker can discover it and realize it as this I am. I am